I asked Grok.com, what are the circumstances surrounding the death of Malcom Jamal-Warner? Grok answered, Malcom Jamal-Warner, known for his role as Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, died on July 20th, 2025 at age 54 due to an accidental drowning off the coast of Costa Rica. According to reports, Warner was on a family vacation and swimming at Playa Coclas or Playa Grande in Limon province when he was caught up in a powerful rip current. The Costa Rican Judicial Investigation Agency confirmed his cause of death as asphyxia by submersion following an autopsy ruling it an accident. Initial reports suggested Warner was swimming with his 8-year-old daughter, but a later statement clarified she was not in the water at the time. Instead, Warner was playing with her at the seashore, left her out of the water, and entered the sea with a friend. Both were swept away by the current. The friend escaped, but Warner could not. Surfers and a volunteer lifeguard attempted a rescue, with one surfer finding Warner, quote, on the floor of the ocean. How did he do that? How did he find him on the floor of the ocean if this is in the midst of a rip current? How did he manage to swim down to the bottom of the ocean? I don't know how deep it was there, but that's odd. Pulling him to shore. Despite CPR efforts lasting 20 to 45 minutes by the Costa Rican Red Cross and others, Warner was pronounced dead at the scene. The beach is known for dangerous rip currents with warning signs posted. A 29-year-old Nicaraguan man who tried to rescue Warner was treated and released from the hospital. Warner's body was sent to the judicial morgue and later arranged to be flown to Los Angeles. All right, and then conflicting reports, including a claim from one source that Warner died in Los Angeles, have caused some confusion, but the majority of accounts, including those of blah, 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 mainstream media, confirm the drowning in Costa Rica. Some, like comedian Eddie Griffin, have expressed skepticism about the official account, citing inconsistent stories, though no evidence supports alternative theories. Of course it has to say that. Of course it does. So who is this Eddie Griffin? Well, we'll find it. We'll pursue that in a moment. So there were two things that struck me as strange about this. The report, as it's summarized here by Grok, of what supposedly really happened. One of them, well, this isn't strange, but I wanted to, it isn't necessarily strange. I wanted to know who was the friend, because the report was that he was out swimming with a friend, and the friend, and they both got caught in the rip current, but the friend managed to get away to shore, and Malcom Jamal-Warner did not get away. The other thing that struck me as strange was the detail about him leaving his daughter, his 8-year-old daughter, at the beach. Because I just thought to myself, okay, if I was at the beach with one of my kids and my son or daughter was 8 years old, would I just leave him or her unattended on the beach? You know, especially if I'm in a foreign country and I'm a star of I'm a relatively speaking famous person. Don't I want there to be some security? Maybe there was security. Maybe there was somebody in attendance watching his daughter, but I would want to know more about that. I'll pursue that in a minute. Anyway, the identity of the friend who was with Malcom Jamal-Warner when he drowned has not been publicly disclosed in any of the available reports. Authorities, including Costa Rica's Judicial Investigation Agency, described the individual as a 29-year-old Nicaraguan man who attempted to rescue Warner after both were swept away by a rip. So he attempted to rescue Warner after they were both swept away. And then he went back and tried to rescue him. What? Okay, so this is getting more, this is making less and less sense to me. The friend managed to escape the current and was treated at a local clinic. Okay, so it makes sense if this guy whose name is not being disclosed was the friend, and he was the one who tried to escape the current. But the detail about how he got away, how he managed to escape and get to shore, and then supposedly went back and tried to save him. Anyway, that doesn't make much sense to me. No further details such as the friend's name have been provided in official reports from major news outlets. A post on X speculated that actor Lehman Rucker might have been the friend, but this claim lacks confirmation from any credible source. Oh boy. Grok. One of these days, pow right in the kisser. Credible source. It remains unverified. All right. Did he leave? Now, okay, dig this answer from Mr. Grok. Did he leave his 8-year-old daughter unattended on the beach? I asked, with some incredulity, which Grok was not able to detect because Grok is a machine. No, Malcom Jamal-Warner did not leave his 8-year-old daughter unattended on the beach. Okay, so who did he leave her with? Well, it goes on, according to the blah, 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 Warner was playing with his daughter at the seashore before entering the water with a friend. Yes, we already went over that. Yes, they clarified that the daughter was not in the water at the time, was left out of the water. Okay. Implying that she was not left unattended? How does that imply that she was not left unattended? While specific details about who was supervising her at that moment are not provided in the reports, the official account indicates she was safely on the shore. Okay, yes. If these reports are true, then the initial reports were about how she was in the water with him were untrue. Fine. But the question is, did he leave his daughter unattended? Grok answered no, he did not leave his daughter unattended. And then it proceeds to say it doesn't know who he left her with. But no credible sources Again, with this credible sources crap. Again, with begging the question. No credible sources suggest she was left alone without supervision. But who was she left with? Who was watching her? All right. I'm not suggesting, by the way, that Jamal Warner did something irresponsible, because it doesn't seem not that I know the guy or knew the guy, but my sense of him is that he's a stand-up dude, and that he's a good father, and that he wouldn't just leave his daughter on a strange beach in a foreign country unattended. I think that there's some problem with this. This suggests some problem with the, yes, quote unquote, official story. That phrase just keeps repeating, doesn't it? The official story. So anyhow, no credible source suggests she was left without supervision. But where are the sources saying who she was left with? And why was this? I mean, I guess a mistake could be made in the reporting that she was with him initially, and then that could be corrected as is said here. I guess that doesn't strike me as lacking credibility. But who is she left with? Would you leave your daughter on the beach alone? I certainly wouldn't. I don't think Malcom Jamal-Warner would have. So what's the deal there? So I looked up Eddie Griffin. I did not know who this person was, but now it seems that he was somebody who was a friend of Malcolm Jamal-Warner and or knew him or worked with him. We'll find out, I guess. I don't believe that man drowned. Eddie Griffin weighs in on Malcolm Jamal-Warner's death, calling it too suspicious. And there's a picture of Eddie Griffin. So this is Soap Central, so I guess he's in a soap opera. But he's a comedian. I don't know. Anyway, comedian Eddie Griffin shared his thoughts about actor Malcolm Jamal-Warner's death. In a video from his stand-up show circulating on the internet, Griffin was seen talking about how Warner's death felt suspicious to him. Right. Eddie Griffin noted how Bill Cosby's son and on-screen son are no longer alive. Okay. So he's saying that his actual son, Bill Cosby's actual son, this happened a few years ago, I remember. I don't remember his name, but I remember the death of Bill Cosby's son. I remember that. I don't believe that man drowned. I don't, but it ain't gonna fix it. It's too suspicious. They had too many stories. Him and his daughter were out there swimming early in the morning. How come the mama wasn't there? That's number one. Number two, just so happened to be a doctor on the beach. Griffin said Warner's daughter was on the beach watching her father swim. However, he felt there was some foul play behind Malcolm Jamal-Warner's death. But what he found confusing was why anyone would try to harm him. As per Griffin, Warner was the nicest person on earth. He definitely had that kind of vibe about him. Seemed like a nice guy. The comedian then joked, "They tried to kill me a bunch of times. You can't go anywhere until God says it's time for you to go." Okay, so anyway. So it looks like that's all he had to say about the death. Malcolm and Eddie, I guess they were on a show together, or maybe it was a podcast or something. Maybe somebody out there knows. You'll pardon my ignorance about this. All right, so it doesn't look like this is doesn't look like this is as substantial of a thing as I was thinking it might be. But he was just saying, why was the mama not there? Supposedly the mother left earlier in the day. But at least somebody else out there is saying this is strange. All right, so I went ahead and asked Grok, Mr. Grok, I said, why do some people doubt the official story of Malcolm Jamal-Warner's death? Some people doubt the official story of Malcolm Jamal-Warner's death due to conflicting accounts from authorities and public figures. The official report from Costa Rica's Judicial Investigation Agency states that Warner was playing with his daughter at the seashore, left her out of the water. That's a weird way of putting it. Just left her on the beach and entered the, again, left her unattended. An 8-year-old. I hate to keep harping on that, but I mean, it is what it is. And entered the sea with a friend where they were swept away by a rip current. Warner was unable to escape and drowned while his friend survived. However, the Costa Rican tourist police chief, Elberth Leon, claimed Warner and his daughter were both in the water and caught by the rip current, with Warner attempting to save his daughter, leading to his drowning. This discrepancy between the OIJ's account and Leon's statement has fueled skepticism, as Leon insisted his version was accurate, noting that the OIJ did not interview key witnesses like the police or Red Cross personnel at the scene. Holy wow. Okay, the plot thickens now. The plot thickens. So this is somebody who I thought at first that they just got it wrong and they were corrected, but it seems that this person who was at the scene the Costa Rican tourist police chief claimed Warner and his daughter were both in the water. Leon insisted his version was accurate, noting the OIJ did not interview key witnesses like the police or Red Cross personnel present at the scene. All right, it makes much more sense to me. It makes much more sense to me that he would be with his daughter. That is, that he wouldn't just leave his daughter on the beach and go out swimming with his buddy who was never identified, who has never been identified. This makes a lot more sense that they'd be in the water together, and then this rip current would manifest itself, and that somehow he was able to get his daughter out of it, and his daughter was able to get to shore, but the current was too much for him. So he was just he exerted all of his energy trying to save her, and then drowned. That makes more sense, but but now they're saying that's not what actually happened, and there's still this report of this friend, quote unquote, that he went out swimming with, who's never been identified, who might be some 29-year-old Nicaraguan man. What is going on? But according to this person, who he's insistent. According to this account, he was overruled. He was told his version of events was not correct, but he said, no, my version is correct. You got it wrong. You didn't interview those who were there on the scene. So he's saying he was in the water with his daughter. That rhymes. So I don't know. I don't know what to think. Okay, I asked Grok to give more detail about what this person on this authority, this Elberth Leon, the Costa Rican tourist police chief. What is a tourist police chief? Somebody who watches after, who looks out for the tourists specifically. Anyway. That's a question for another day, I guess. But I asked for more detail on that. Leon's disagreement with the OIJ stems from several points. Okay, Grok's actually kind of coming through on this, just garbage in, garbage out. But non-garbage in, non-garbage out, like as with any machine. Leon's disagreement stems from several points. Witness account. Number one, witness account. Leon claims the OIJ is inaccurate because it did not incorporate statements from key witnesses, such as the tourist police or Red Cross personnel who were present at the scene. He insists these individuals could provide a clearer picture of the event, supporting his version that Warner and his daughter were both in the water. Details of the rescue. Leon emphasizes that a surfer, not mentioned in the report, played a critical role in saving Warner's daughter. This detail contradicts the OIJ's narrative that the daughter was safely left on the shore before Warner entered the water with his friend. Why would they want to change the details on that? Why would they want to say no? There was no surfer who and that helps me to understand how his daughter could have been rescued. Maybe the surfer saw both of them, having trouble, and prioritized saving the kid first, and then tried to go back and save the man, and was unable to. But the OIJ, which I can't remember what that stands for, but it's this authority said no, that never happened. She was always just on the beach. Again, if he left her on the beach, would he really leave her with just unattended to just go swimming with some buddy? Insistence on accuracy. In an interview with the Tico Times, Leon stood firmly by his account, stating that's not what happened. He argued that his information came directly from those involved in the response, lending credibility to his claim that Warner's heroic attempt to save his daughter was a key factor in the tragedy. Okay. So there you go. The lack of alignment between these official sources, combined with Leone's assertion that critical witness testimonies were overlooked, has contributed to skepticism about the official narrative surrounding Warner's death. Well, there you go. This is interesting. I have to say, just as a postlude here, something didn't feel right about this whole. When I first heard about this story, something seemed strange, or, first of all, I can't help it if it's a celebrity, if it's somebody who has some relation to Bill Cosby. He played his son on the show, in the Cosby Show in the 1980s. That was the biggest show of the 80s. So a former child star, close to Cosby, but seemed like a stand-up guy. Seemed like every impression that I had of him was that he was he was a good guy. And this, so I don't know. It's all just instinctual. But I was kind of doubting or wondering if there was more to this picture than met the eye, and this has only multiplied my doubts. So what do y'all think?